And I would have liked to see a woman in the office. Like I wasn't even appalled to it when Hillary wanted to win or
So
whatever.
as a woman, right? How do you feel as a society? Because I think what it is like as a society, like people don't see a woman taking that type of power as of like yet, right? Like as a woman, how does that like make you feel? Do you see um a woman becoming a president at some point? What's your take on that?
I don't want to get all preachy, but I kind of just go back to the Bible.
Amen. Amen.
Um, there's like, I don't like the fact that people kind of downplay like the possibilities that a woman can do certain things. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that there's not obvious differences between a man and a woman.
Okay.
We know that. We know that women are more emotional. But if you read the Bible, you know that. You know that, a woman came from a man. Like, we're the rib. But that doesn't mean, and that we're nurturers. That doesn't mean that we aren't meant to run the country. It just means that there'll be a different approach to it. There might be a little bit more emotional sense tied into how you run America versus a man who men are meant to provide, men are meant to be strong, and women are meant to be soft. We have men who ran the country for the longest, wars and all that stuff. And
300,
I'm
four
not
hundred
saying,
years.
yeah, it's like some presidents in the past have put us in bad situations.
Oh, for
So
sure.
looking at a
100%.
woman, maybe she won't put us in that situation just because she might think a little bit differently. She may think a little bit more emotional. Like there's obvious differences between a man and a woman, but it's not to the point where we aren't capable. You just have to look at it as something different, and that's kind of how I view it as far as like politics. Like there's so many female executives, governors, senates, whatever. It's just a different approach. Like, and even speaking to the women who might be listening, like you don't have to toughen up just because you're in a male dominant position. Like I'm in a male dominant field. I don't feel like I need to toughen up. I just feel like I have a different approach to it. So that's kind of like how I feel. You don't have to weaken the space for women to be in it. And women, you don't gotta bulk up to be in the space. You
Okay.
authentically go into each space being yourself.
Okay.
And
Okay.
because at the end of the day, the country's ran by a person. Like, you voted for this person because you believe in what this person believes in. Just
Right.
look at it as an individual, from an individual standpoint, in any field when it comes to men and women. And and I'm not that type of person that's on the bandwagon like, oh, like I believe in equal rights, don't get me wrong. But like, do I want to sit and pump my tire?
You
No.
see, that's what I was gonna get to as well, right?
Yeah,
You
like
know,
there's differences for a reason. No, I don't want to take out the garbage. No, I don't want to put gas in my car.
because I was gonna ask too. I was gonna be like, women want that equal rights. They want that, you know. Well, if he could have it, why can't I, right? Because I think this ties into gender roles too. You don't want to have to fix your tire if you don't have to. You don't have to do these certain things. You don't want a man to do it, right? So where does that kind of tie into, because you mentioned government officials, you mentioned vice president, and all these roles are important. But the way how I think about it, I'm like, okay, if a female was a president, right, she definitely could lead. She definitely could, do a lot of good things, right? But as a president, you look in every way, you know what I mean? Even though you got security, you still never know who's out
Mhm.
to get you because your face is everywhere. Everybody knows you. You running, you in charge of millions of people because it's in some sense like it's your problem now. Like people are coming to you about their problems, right? So where does that tie into, equal rights, with men and women?
I think that society, like, I think women only want to fight for equal rights in spaces where it shouldn't have even been a gender role, if
Mm.
that makes sense. Like,
Tell me,
in
tell me,
sports,
tell me.
it makes sense. Like, in sports, who said that there needed to be, like, that there couldn't be a female league? Like we're fighting for that, and we're fighting for equal pay because who said that we should get paid less? Like I feel like women, we have sense enough to know that we are a more fragile species, but it's like y'all are putting stipulations on us that we didn't necessarily ask for. Like even back then you said women couldn't vote. Why? Like y'all put that on us, and then y'all are upset that we want it, but it's like if you wouldn't have put it on us in the first place, it wouldn't have mattered.
Do you think it ties into like, 'cause obviously we wasn't born, back then and stuff like that. Do you think it ties into just, biblical kings and queens?
I guess it could because most, but see, like that's those even in biblical times, like men were meant to lead and women were meant to like be submissive and follow, but she still, as a queen, you still had a space, if
Mm.
that